Do you want me to look at the camera or you?
Well, you look at the camera for this one, and then
Okay.
for the rest of the show, you can talk to me.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. Hi, my name is Justus Ricard, and I'm here for your interview. How'd I start? I guess it was just the typical how every kid starts playing video games. It went from being just a little bit of a fun activity with my friends to becoming more of a competitive aspect of it all. I really didn't start looking into esports or to anything about like Twitch streaming or anything until Overwatch. Overwatch is a first-person shooter, objective-based game. Overwatch has a plethora of heroes that you can play, each in their own individual roles, each unique.
Just real quick.
Oh, my mains.
Well, let's take the final mark and I'll put the mains at the end.
Okay, mains. Mains are Reinhardt, giant dude with a hammer and a shield. Orisa, a robot centaur with a machine gun arm and can shoot shields. And has this weird ball that pulls everyone together. 3 is a gorilla. I know, I made some weird characters. 3 is a gorilla with a lightning gun. 4 is a hamster who uses a giant ball mech to run around. I have some weird mains, but man, I love them. The beauty of Overwatch is the fact that you don't have to have the most perfect aim in order to win. It's very much if you know the map, if you know how to work the abilities, and you know the abilities around the characters, you can play around that in a certain way to amplify what your team can do. So, a normal day for me would be, I'd get up at probably around 10, 11 o'clock. I'd go do some sort of physical activity. From there, I would get on to the game and I'd do like a small little warm up, playing some abnormal games I usually don't play, get me in that mood of warming up. From there, it would be 4 hours of streaming, waking up on Overwatch, not just video gaming, but waking up on Overwatch and entertaining the stream while I'm doing it. In between that period of time, I would eat lunch, and then after that 4 hours, I turn off the stream, and then I get into a more mental state. I'd probably get up and eat my dinner. I might really start focusing on like very particular games. I have a couple of warm-up games on there, and then I get on my main and play super focused for 2 hours. From there, I do an hour VOD review. Basically, I'd watch every game I had lost, and I would determine what I did wrong as an individual. I might relax a little bit, maybe watch some TV or something, and then I'd go to bed. And then the system would restart. Let's see, being on a team was fun. Like the first week. And it wasn't because of, I hated the fact of being on a team, it was the fact of the team. When you do it with a team, and then you hear them on your headset, like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
It's just the best feeling in the world. It is the best feeling in the world. How it ended up was very negatively, unfortunately. I will say the way I acted in some situations was not mature enough to what I should have. It got to a point where I was doing things, they were doing things that I wasn't happy with, I was doing things they weren't happy with, and it eventually came to a agreement that I was just gonna leave. It's very hard. It's very hard in the social life. I mean, I still keep in contact with friends. I still keep in contact with some girls. Anybody who's trying to get to these high risk, high reward areas. Singers, songwriters, directors, actors, those sort of things. You have to work your way to it. And sometimes you have to give up the social life. Sometimes you have to do that. But at the end of the day, when you get it, it'll be all worth it. There's so many days where I honestly cried in my pillow because I couldn't take it. And so many days where I thought, I'm done. I give up. I don't want to do this anymore. I guess you would say my strong will, and the fact that way too prideful to give up, put me into a stance of, keep going. So, yeah, the next milestone is a team. Once I get in a team, I'm going to hopefully stick with it. If nothing goes wrong, I'll stick with it until we get to a point where I can get on hired teams, which is hopefully contenders, which is the minors. From there, cross the fingers, Overwatch League. So I guess the last remarks for anything is, if you want to be an esports pro, it's not as simple as playing video games all day. It's commitment, it's the mental strength to have it. Sometimes it's sacrifice. You have to sacrifice not only your personal time, but your social life. And sometimes you have to sacrifice your money too. Gaming in itself is so fast. Games in Overwatch last 30 minutes at the most. And that's insane, like how 30 minutes of a game can determine your future. It's not easy. It's not easy to sit down, get an awesome PC, get a really good room, and have all this money. And if you can't fulfill on that, you waste it. Not everyone's gonna make it. But at the end of the day, you have to give it your all. If you have the heart, you have the drive, and you put your mind and soul into what you do, you can succeed. It may not seem like it at the very start, but you will. You just need to take a breath, step back, look what you did wrong, and go again. There's a saying in gaming all the time, GG, go next. The game's over, it's fine, we go again.